Thank you for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an Amazon Associates business for sale in the music niche. Created in June 2016, this business makes $5,491 per month in net profit, and the listing number for the business is 45004. We do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the businesses they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Yannick, thank you for coming on here today. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm very good. Thank you, Jake.
It is my pleasure. I'm looking forward to chatting with you about this business. I really love the Amazon Associates model. Before we dive into the questions that I have for you, though, I want to go ahead and run through a little quick summary of the business. Again, the business was built in June of 2016, has a monthly revenue of $5,908, expenses of $418 to make for a net profit of $5,491, which is generated on a 12-month average. Included in the sale of this business are the primary domain and all site content and files, social media accounts, and employer relationships. Yannick, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, sure. So I don't know if you've mentioned this, but this site I got started with in 2016. And it was actually I had been building sites before, but this one was the first that was monetized primarily through Amazon Associates. And I don't know, what else do you want to know?
So it's just interesting to me that you settled upon the Amazon Associates model here. It's very lucrative, but what drew you to it?
Basically, in this case, I guess the fact that the niche I chose, which is it's a passion of mine and other people are passionate about it. And it just happened that this niche had lots of physical products that were also fairly expensive, and people absolutely needed this product to fulfill their passion or practice their passion. And I knew that Amazon had lots of those products available. And then upon further research, I saw that those products were also selling well. So that sort of made the decision for me.
And then how does this business make money? Can you explain the Amazon Associates model for someone who is unfamiliar with it?
Sure. Yeah, basically, if you were a person searching on Google for information on some product, you would type in the term and you would find my site, you would go there, and typically you would find a review of a single product, or you would find a sort of list of products that are good for a particular purpose. And then you would read up on those products on my site. And if you liked what I said, if that would help you make your buying decision, you would actually click through or you would click a link, and this link would bring you to Amazon in the country of where you live. And if you buy the item on Amazon, then that gives me a commission.
And then to clarify, the interesting thing about Amazon Associates is you don't just get a commission on the items that were purchased that you're recommending. You also get a commission on any other purchase made by that user on Amazon within a 24-hour period, as long as your site is the last site that they had been to before Amazon.
That's correct. Yeah, that's a nice benefit.
Mm-hmm. With all of that said, you obviously then need to have content put up on your Amazon Associates site. Can you walk me through the process of getting content? How often do you update your content? Do you write it yourself? How does that work out for you?
Yeah, sure. So most of the content I have on my site right now has been written by myself, because I've actually more than 20 years of experience in dealing with these kinds of products. But I also have a writer that is writing for me. I met him like half a year ago, and since then he's been doing more and more articles, so I didn't have to spend the time on that. And he's really good. He also has lots of experience. He's a good writer. So typically I publish about one article per month, and that article would be about maybe 1,000 words minimum, 2,000 words maximum. And yeah, that would be one new article per month. And then I do updates. There's no real system to it, but whenever I see a new product coming up on Amazon that fits one of my current articles and it's selling well, I just add it into it. And that's not much work. That's just, typically like 300 words and some nice, graphical editing, some shortcode and stuff. But I'm happy to pass all of this on. So there's templates, For every kind of article that is on my site, there's templates for the updates. So that's not really hard to get into.
But then, even though you produce the content yourself, you do have employees who help you run the business. As I said, something that'll pass along with the sale is employee relationships. So what roles do employees have within this business?
Yeah, so as I said, there's one writer. Basically, he can write all the articles for you if that's what you want or what a potential buyer would want to. Then I have templates for all the kinds of articles. So there are certain kinds of articles that I put up on my site. And for all of those, I have templates that are inside WordPress. So you basically go in, you duplicate the templates, then you send a link to my writer and he writes them. And then I also have a VA that I would pass on. And she does all the editing. So editing in terms of grammar, spelling, and that the article actually makes sense. And then she also takes care of the technical editing, which includes dropping in the Amazon affiliate links, generating shortcodes, making sure everything looks nice, generating tables, etc.
What does the business do for marketing? How do you get your traffic into the site?
So traffic is, let's say, 99% Google organic traffic. So that comes in through SEO, basically, which boils down to really first producing good content, which I have the templates for. And then, of course, the quality of the writer should be good. And secondly, link building. And that's done on a monthly basis. I build a couple of links, and that's basically all outsourced too. So I don't put much effort into it. I have my spreadsheet, which tells me what kind of links to build. And then I basically outsource this to an agency.
So it really doesn't take you much effort on your end to run the business then, because you outsource a lot of it.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, it doesn't. Maybe if
So then if you had to quantify the number of hours you spend on the business on a weekly basis, what would you say?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask if you want me to give an hour. Yeah, so I would say per week, maybe 4 to 6 hours.
That's very passive to be making about $5,000 plus every single month and in profit with a monstrous month back in December, presumably because of the holiday season when you made $16,000 in profit. So that begs the question then, why have you decided to sell the business today?
Yeah, that's a good question. And indeed, November and December are the best month. It starts in November when, Cyber Week happens on Amazon. So that is a good month. And then December is by far the biggest month. Why am I selling? I've started this site in 2016, and at the time, there was no other Amazon Associates or no other type of site in this niche that was really good. And that was my original motivation. And then I built it up, and right now it's the biggest one. So it was a good journey so far, but I feel I'm not the right person to grow it any further. That's basically why I want to sell it.
When you speak to growing the business, that must mean that there are opportunities for growth. How would you go about growing it if you were to keep it?
Yeah, if I were to keep it, I would produce much more informational content. So if you're talking about Amazon Associate sites, there is like review content, which reviews actual physical products that you sell. But each of those sites, almost by definition, has a large area of informational content, how to do certain things, etc. And I've not covered those well. So I have a few posts there which are doing well, but I've not written many of those. So that would be an area that you could focus on, and then you can monetize this area. I didn't focus on it because I didn't know how to monetize it, but now I know you can place ads on those sites and they can generate a significant revenue too if you have a few of those posts up and running. The second thing is one could look into using another affiliate program. I've looked around and I know there are a good couple other affiliate programs, and I'm pretty sure they would convert just like Amazon. They even have more products available. And then you would have to basically test them out. And if you are successful with them, it's much easier to negotiate with those businesses and bump up your commissions. Because with Amazon, you cannot negotiate. Their commission is fixed at a certain percentage, and that's it. But if you think about, you have a business there that's not as huge as Amazon, and at that revenue that I'm doing, you're talking about actual physical product revenue in the hundreds of thousands per month. And then it should be not too hard to go to a business, say, hey, I'm going to make you $100,000, $200,000 a month. Can you bump up my commission to, say, from 6 to 10%? And that would be like almost 50% growth right there.
Have you experienced or encountered really any risks associated with this business that you would want a potential new owner to be aware of?
Well, if, like in my case, if all of the traffic is coming from Google, that's obviously a risk. You're sort of, if Google changes something or if Google wants to, that's not right. But of course, you face the risk of losing your traffic by the fact that Google changes something. But so far, I mean, the site has been running for 2 years. There have been numerous updates and everything has worked out well. So that's the risk, but that's just in the nature of acquiring your traffic through Google.
And that's as you said, just a fact of any business who relies on Google traffic. So it doesn't seem like there's any major risks associated with this particular business.
No, and I use Facebook traffic for my other businesses, and I feel that Facebook traffic is much more difficult to handle because they can just change their policy one day and then your ads might not run again or run anymore. And I feel that with SEO and organic traffic, the changes, they are much more sort of, it takes longer to implement and they are not as drastic.
What advice do you have for someone who wants to get started with their own Amazon associate site? What's something that you really wish you had known when you got started?
Well, the big thing at the very beginning, I guess, is niche selection, which I spend a lot of time on. And then in this case, hit a home run, fortunately. But once the site is up and running, I guess, I would like to have known about how to monetize the non-physical product content early on. Because if I had focused on the informational content from the beginning, that kind of content is probably easier to promote, can bring you more traffic, and can also bring you money. So had I known this from the beginning, I think I could have focused on this more and then grown the site more quickly.
Would you commit to a non-compete?
Yeah, sure.
How much support are you willing to offer a new owner during the transition period?
I'm willing to offer email support. I'm willing to offer Skype support. So basically, he or she could ask me any questions, and I'd be happy to help.
Are you willing to negotiate on something like an earnout?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Yannick, for the interview today. I do have another question for you. Before we get to that, I want to go ahead and run through that little quick summary of the business again. The business was built in June of 2016, has a monthly revenue of $5,908, expenses of $418 to make for a net profit of $5,491, which is generated on a 12-month average. Included in the sale of this business are the primary domain and all site content and files, social media accounts, and employee relationships. Looking at this business then, why do you feel like it is a business worth buying?
I guess it gives you a good head start in the niche, and also it's the largest site in the niche, so you have a good bit of authority there, and I think it's a good basis upon which you can, for example, approach other retailers in the space and negotiate higher payouts, better affiliate terms. You could even look into, starting or launching your own product off of this. So I think there are many opportunities going from here because it already has a good bit of authority, or is the most authoritative site in the space.
And another thing worth mentioning is that it's hard to rank on Google. And since you already have done that, and like you said, you are the largest Amazon associate site in the niche, it's just a very huge head start, as you said, to get started because it is so difficult to get ranking on Google. Getting started in this niche would be difficult.
Yeah, right now it definitely would be.
Thank you so much for taking the time to get on with me today. I really appreciate it.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you very much.
If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And if you want more information, the link will be below the video that will take you to this marketplace listing. If you are watching this on the listing site and want more information, become a depositor today. When you make the deposit, one of our business advisors will be in contact with you, and you'll be given everything you need to review this business. Have a great day.